Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Biotechnology Club YouTube channel. I'm Sonal, a member of Biotechnology Student Society. Today, we have with us Tania, who graduated from Centennial in 2018. She is the co-founder of Assured Food Safety Consulting Incorporation. I'm really excited for this interview because you are running a business, and this area of work is really different from our previous alumni engagements. I'm really looking forward to listening to your viewpoints about the industry, Tanya. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Sonal. Thank you so much for the introduction. And I want to say I'm really grateful for this opportunity as well. I think there is a guidance and support that students need at this moment. And this is what you have started in Centennial College is amazing. Everybody needs this. I think everybody should watch these videos on YouTube channel whenever they get a chance, because that's how you would learn how you can grow, what different certification or trainings that you can do to actually grow in your career in a food safety, especially.
Yeah, thank you for helping us out. Okay, so starting with our first question. So, Tanya, can you tell the audience about your entrepreneurial journey after graduation?
So I started my career as a, a full-time. I was started as a full-time working in ready-to-eat poultry plant in 2008. I started as a QA tech, and then within 9 months they promoted me to a HACCP coordinator position. I was really grateful for that opportunity too, because that opportunity gave my career a big kick at that time. And they HACCP certify me internally. They promoted me to position, and I worked in a same plant in a ready-to-eat poultry plant as a HACCP coordinator for a year. Then I wanted to work in a government side. I wanted to see how CFI works, what role they play, because I was always seeing them in our facility coming and doing inspections, and I wanted to be at that position as well. So I was very close to the inspectors who used to come to our facility, and what I did, I started networking with them. I started talking with them and see how they joined, what is the application process, and how can I become an inspector as well. And fortunately, at that time, CFI was hiring, and I applied for meat inspector position. I got into it within 4 months, and there is a completely different. I think we need a completely different episode to discuss what is the application process for CFI. It's huge, but it was a great learning, and I was appointed as a meat Brampton Maple Lodge plant. And I worked there for a year, and then it actually became little monotonous for me. As a person, I really like to have challenges and do something new every day and learn. But within 5 6 months, you feel like, oh, you're doing same things every day, and there are no challenges, right? Because in a private industry, you basically have challenges and you want to fight those and you learn. But as an inspector, you find problem in other, you give problem to others. Okay, fix this, fix that. So after a year, I started to I decided to move back to private, and I applied for a QA manager position, and I got into it in Vancouver, BC, and that's when I moved here. And I got into it was a vegan plant. I worked there for a few months, and they actually moved their company to Calgary, and that's why I have to left that job. And I started working in seafood plant. Then I was the QA manager in seafood plant. And also, when I was doing a QA manager, I started freelancing, started taking side projects. I was working over the weekends, I was working in the evenings. So that's how my entrepreneurial journey started. I learned that how can I do so many things, because we waste a lot of time. So I learned how to manage my time. How can I do my manager position as well? And how can I build has a plan for small companies as well on site? And that's how in 2021, I started doing side project. And then 2022, we decided to launch a short food safety consulting. And since then, we're working as a consultants for this company. So this is my journey so far, from student to part-time to full-time to then entrepreneur.
That's great. Time management is really something students need to learn too, because we have our jobs and studies side by side.
Yes, definitely. It is really very important. We all think that we don't have enough hours, but when you
Mhm.
actually sit down and use a journal or a weekly planner and think about it, how you can do. I started doing weekly planner when I was in, I think 2018 or 19 when I started doing it. And since till today, I'm doing it every single day. I have to plan my day in the morning for sure. I think it's, you learn all of this from social media. You see all those fancy reels, but it's
Yeah.
true to actually implement those things in your life. They actually change. They actually bring something, a good and a better change in your life that I think we all need to do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did your education at Centennial prepare you for your career?
So I have done masters in biotech back home in India, and it was more about theoretical. Everything that I have learned was how microorganism would do this, do this. I've seen images. I have learned every single bit I can. But when I joined Centennial course, it actually helped me to gain the practical knowledge. That was very, very important, because we all know that we only learn when we are doing things with our own hands. You forget what you read in the books, right, after some time, because there are such fancy names, difficult things, how you will,
Yeah,
so many
exactly.
steps. But practical knowledge is something that Centennial course gave me, that helped me from the microbiological point of view, that really
Mhm.
everybody needs if you want to work in a food safety and quality world, because you have to know everything you can, how the microorganisms work, and that is what Centennial course gave me.
Okay. And Tanya, what skills have you used most since you graduated? Any technical or transferable skills you want to share us with us?
Number one thing I want to share is adaptability. So,
Mhm.
as I shared in my experience, I have worked in different companies. So there are different companies, there are different food products. So every company have a different work culture, work environment, right? Even if you're a student, you're doing a part time, you're working in a restaurant, you're doing security, you're doing anything, and then you're working in a big company where there are so many people with different culture, with different background. If you're not comfortable, if you don't have a habit to adapt yourself according to that work culture, it's going to be
Mhm.
difficult for. So
Okay.
adaptability is something that is very important. And number two, I would say, is time management. As I said, that I have been always managing my time. I was not good at it when I was back home. Like I would always waste my time, sit idle, and just, oh, I don't have time to do this, make excuses. But when I started doing weekly planning, I actually learned that how important is to manage, like time manage, right? It's super, super important. And one more thing I want to share is detail oriented. So, when you're doing a food safety job, it's really important that you understand how important the details are. You're verifying the paperwork, you're going on the floor, you're doing audits, you're dealing with CFI, dealing with someone who is a Costco auditor, Walmart auditor, Loblaws auditor. There are so many auditors who will come. So, they always verify what you have already verified. Basically, as a QA, you verify stuff, and then someone is coming from outside who is going to verify what you verified. So you have to make sure you're detail oriented, because so many lives are dependent on the food that you're going to pass and sell it in the market. So
Okay.
that is something that is very important, and I was very detail oriented when I was in college, and learned, because there are knowledgeable things that are hidden behind the small things that we people like, oh, I don't think I need this, but you actually need those small things to grow.
Mhm. Oh, that's a really good advice. Thank you. And now, what challenges have you faced in your career and how did you overcome them?
So number one challenges, I would say that risk management is something, decision making, sorry, decision making is something that you was very challenging for me always. I still remember when I started my first job as a QA tech, you know how they do your 6 months review, your manager always do your 6 month performance review. And then she told me at that time, Tanya, I'm deducting your 2 marks from your performance review, because you just don't take any risk. You always go to your manager or to your director and let them give you, say, yes, okay, you can do this, and then you do it. So start taking risk, start making your own decisions, that okay, if something is wrong with the food product on the floor, how you are making sure that it is safe without asking other people. So decision making, because you know that food is a very challenging, it's a very challenging product, right? It is not easy to work with. There are so many people who are dependent on it. People are eating it every day. You don't want to kill anyone. So
Yeah.
decision making, risk taking risk is something that is very important. And after that performance review, I started I started from small steps and I started taking my own decisions that really helped me in my whole journey. From, because once you become a manager, you go to a director position, then you become a consultant, right? Even if you're working as an employee or you're working as a consultant, it's become your responsibility to sign and verify and then say, oh yeah, this product is clean and safe and good to go for people. So this is something that was very have always been difficult, and I learned it slowly as well.
Okay. And what problems do you think most students face as they transition from academia to work environment? And how do you think, how do you suggest we can tackle them?
So number one thing I would say is there is no guidance and support. Even when I was a student here, I didn't know what certifications I need, what trainings I can take to grow in my career. So if you know have clear guidance or support from anyone, it's hard for you to make those decisions. Especially if you live here, it's a different thing. Especially when you're immigrant, you have left everything. You're back home and you're here by yourself. Every
Mhm.
single thing yourself, right? It's hard to make those decisions, especially for your career. It's a financial decision too. So I think there is a big gap in the food industry, that there is no guidance or support for the students to decide. So what I did, and what would I suggest? Start making connections, start making networking, talk with the people around you, because we always think, oh, if I don't know, how would she or he know, right? That's an assumption. So it's always important to talk with the people around you. That's what I did. I talked with my teachers. I did listen to, there are so many podcasts that you can listen to. And Food Safety Matters is one of the very big podcasts that actually help you to, that actually help you how you can grow in your career. Then LinkedIn, social media is something that is very important. Through LinkedIn, I have made so many connections. Even as a student, it helped me, and now even as a consultant, it is helping me. There are certain communities, there are certain groups that are free of cost. You don't have to pay anything. You just have to be a part of them. You have to check them regularly and see if there are any job opportunities, if there are any networking events that people are doing that are at no cost. You can join them, be there, and get the support and guidance that you're looking for. And also, one more thing, assured food safety consulting, as us, we do free career consulting as well. Maybe this message is very important. So far, from January to now, I think I have done around 70 students free career consulting, and at no cost, like nothing. We haven't charged them anything. And that's what, when I was a student, I felt that there is a gap, that everybody's talking about certification, QA, supervisor, manager position, but how they're going to reach there? There is no, nobody's telling them the steps. So that's what we started. So if it's possible, just spread this word too, that they can come to us and we can help them at no cost, for sure.
Mm, that's really nice. Now that's really something new for us. Okay, so as you already told a bit about it, but can you share any resources or networking opportunities you benefited from since graduating?
Yeah, so my first thing that I did was n- LinkedIn page, LinkedIn connection, and then joining the community pages. There are sub GMP, food safety and quality. Then there are networking and marketing. Even if you're joining networking and marketing, there are people who pivot their, career in their life, and they will teach you how they did that. So it's very important to learn. And then talk with your professors. It's very important when you're talking with your professors, because they can guide you, especially if you want to become one. It's really, easy and quick to uh, and they already have the experience, so they can tell you better. And through the LinkedIn, you can meet your alumni. That is the number, something that is very important. Just go on Centennial page or any college you are in, go there and see who passed out already from the college, right? And then you can search them on LinkedIn and connect with them and see what they're already doing. Are you interested? Do you want to do something like that? Then there are Eventbrite is something that does a lot of free networking events that people can join.
Okay. Yeah, Eventbrite, I think, is from Centennial, right? Yeah.
Yes, yes, yeah. There
Okay.
are other colleges, other communities as well who post their, they're not that many. They're free, like they're $10, $20, $30 always. There is something always, but I think if it helps you. Like 20, $10, $20 is nothing nowadays, right?
Yeah.
We spend so much money. So if we can spend more on education, so it's always a benefit, right? So,
Okay.
and also one food more thing, there are so many consulting companies, not, I'm just not talking about assured food safety. There are many other as well who do free webinars. So even in the past, we have done 2 free GMP webinars. Some of the students from Centennial College has attended as well that webinar. Uh, Professor Henry, she posted on her LinkedIn about it too. So in those webinars, you meet so many different people. So we gave free training to them, the good manufacturing practices, how food facility work, and then we gave them the certificate of participation also. So through that, there are so many people you meet and talk and see how the actually food industry works. So just I would suggest that keep your eyes open. Social media is something that is very important, and there are so many things that are happening around us that we don't even realize are important.
Okay. And what have you learned in the industry that you wish you learned while in school? Any certificates or training that you suggest will help students to secure a job?
So, from food safety point of view, I would say HACCP certification is something that is very basic, that is very required, very much required. I was not taught about it when I did my professional's master's back home. I was not taught about it when I was here in Centennial. It was really a basic, but nobody actually tell you how to create a HACCP plan. So there are multiple forms that you have to create. That is something which is very, very important for you, even if you want to grow in the food safety industry. It is a basic requirement. So HACCP certification is something that I would suggest students who are who are new graduates or who are already in the industry and they want to grow, they definitely should take that certification. And for we are also accredited. So I am a HACCP lead instructor, and even my co-founder is, she's also a HACCP lead instructor, and we are accredited gold seal by US International HACCP Alliance. So we can sell, certify, and train train basically everyone legally. So there is no like, you can use our certificate anywhere in Canada and US to get the job. So it is very basic. I'm not saying that take it from us. It's, you can take it from anywhere. It's up to you, but I would say that go ahead and definitely do that certification.
Okay, so how about HACCP certification? Is it an online process or we have to join offline?
So
Or
there are, so it depends. Different companies have their different process. What we are doing is right now we're doing it virtually, but we will be teaching it because HACCP is something you cannot just go through slides and learn. Trust me, it won't work that way.
yeah,
You can read basic, you can read GMPs, you can read what are SOPs, you can read what is sanitation, pest control. You can understand all of that, right? But if you don't know how to create a HACCP plan, how to understand the process, how to do hazard analysis, which is basically main requirement for all the food products in Canada and US, even in Europe, right? So you have to have someone teaching you how to create that HACCP plan. So I would suggest you can take it virtually, you can take it in person, but make sure someone is teaching you that course, because once you finish it, you will have so many questions that you will be confused. Okay, how would I do this? Because there are certain number of process and steps that, and it is a 2 day course. So it is around 15-16 hour course. It's not a small course. It's going to take a lot of valuable time and energy. And also we do at the end a quiz too. It's a basically situation based quiz that will help you to understand that was that course, like how did you understand, what did you understand from that course, was it actually beneficial for you? So yes, virtual or in person you can do, but it has to be instructor led, like let people, someone teach you that course.
okay. What do you think can students without co-op program can enter the field of work? How can they like enter the field? Because maybe the students who are doing co-op, it's easier for them, and for those who don't have it, it's a little bit difficult. How do you suggest we can enter the field?
Sonal, this question, I told you about free career consulting, right? I think
Mhm.
so many people have asked, so many students have asked that question. myself, I have not done co-op. Like I didn't take it at that time. I think I missed it also, the kind like date, and then I requested, and then when I see that you get that gap between your education and then you have to come back and start studying again. So I'm like, no, I don't want to delay my work visa. I think I want to start working. So in a co-op, I would suggest, if you don't get a co-op or if you don't want to go into co-op, how you can enter into a field is start from small company. We when we come here, we all have that vision that we want to work in a big company. I want to work with the corporate, right? It's it's not a bad thing if you start from a small company. There are so many government jobs that you can do on site as part time as well, when you're a student. There are so many small companies who are always looking for QA techs or quality control person who can work for them at lower cost. Like, they're a small business, they cannot pay you that much. You are a student, you need experience to grow in your career, to work in a big company. So if you can both mutually benefit each other, then why not? So there are food and beverages award shows that you can see in BC or in Ontario. They're everywhere. You can join those. They're on YouTube, so you can watch those. You would know about which products, food products, are launching every single year. You can contact them through their LinkedIn or Instagram or through email. That is the best, of course, through email, and send them your resume and tell them that why you want as a QA tech job. So you start your career from small, and then they get someone who they don't have to pay like at a higher cost, and that's how you can easily enter in the field of job.
Okay, thank you. And our last question is, what advice would you have for aspiring entrepreneurs? When do you think is the right time for them to start applying for jobs, and how can they start make their startups?
So I would say one thing that I have seen in people that's missing is grab a opportunity. Don't overthink about things. Don't overthink, oh, should I work in this company? Should I take this job? Are they paying me less? Are they paying me this? Just don't think about it. When you're grabbing opportunity, just take it and then figure it out after that. Trust me, I have done it. When I was offered a QA manager position, I was not confident about it that I would be able to do that. But I'm like, what worse could happen? What would they do? Like, they fire me? That's the worst thing can happen, right? Nothing. They can't send me to jail. The worst thing that could happen with me is that I could get fired. But once you're there, you start learning the process, you start learning about the product, you start meeting people, and then there are always CFI guidance. Then there is always industry standard guidelines that you can use. So to all the students, grab an opportunity when you get something. Do not overthink about anything. Do not think how much you're getting paid, because there is competition is a lot, and but there are not enough jobs. It's coming. You can see that there are people, that there are students waiting for the job. They're applying for so many positions on a daily basis, but there are not that many companies or positions that are open, but we have more students to apply, right? So take that opportunity. Don't think about it. And if you want to start your own entrepreneur journey, then just think that how you what is good for you, what works for you. Do you want to work in the lab? Do you want to work as an auditor? Do you want to work in CFI as a government? CFI job is really good. If you don't want to, if you want a stress-free life, it's perfect. It's, you cannot have a better job than that. You get all the resources, you get good money, you get good how to say it, all this insurance and everything. You get all the beautiful benefits from them, and it's stress free. In private, you definitely get more paid, more money, more resources, everything more, and you grow quicker than in the government job, but it's more challenging. You're coming home, you will be stressful. And
Mm.
as to start your entrepreneur journey, you can start small. You don't have to go find your niche. Are you good at only Hasaplan? Are you good at giving someone organic, non-GMO, gluten-free certifications? Like, there are so many things that you can do, be a part of it. Like, take those certifications, spend your time on them, start learning them, and then make good social media portfolio. It's really important, because nowadays when you give your resume to someone, first thing they go and check your LinkedIn. That's what I have done. Whenever I have hired any QA tech, I have checked their LinkedIn first, because it puts out an impression of you, that if you're organized, you can literally tell from your social media, LinkedIn, not personal social media, LinkedIn, how the person is organized, what they have done, and they actually have done what is written in the resume. So these are the small things that will really help everyone to grow in their career.
Thank you so much. That was all. Thank you for your valuable insights. And I appreciate you taking your time to help the students. It was really, really nice talking to you.
Thank you so much, Sonal. I hope it helps and wish everyone all the best for their career. Thank you.